Loco Moco. Is that Monster's new flavour, Loco Moco? No? Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello and welcome to the Hatch Pass Podcast. My name is Ben. This is Beth.
Hi, Ben.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How's yourself?
Warm, sweaty.
Still.
Yeah. This is the second podcast recorded today. So the one with Reese comes chronologically in the release order before you. I'm sorry.
Well, you were meant to record with him last week, so...
Yeah. No, it was supposed to be Monday. It was supposed to be yesterday.
No, you told me you were replacing me last week because I was too busy with work.
I did. But we were recording on Monday to see if he won the cup at the weekend. And he did. So it worked out. It all worked out. You know, we're a week late on releasing an episode. But
a
today...
week late on actually drawing the...
Oh, I've drawn the winner.
You've drawn it?
Yeah, I did it today.
Wow, you've actually done that now.
Yeah. Well, I can announce it during this video. And yeah, I did a wheel earlier on.
Wow.
And yeah, you're getting a bumper episode of podcast today. So if I'm a little bit spacey, it's because I've already recorded one today. But yeah.
He's spacey because he's recorded. I'm spacey because I've been at work all day.
And I'm full on food because I had a break and I've just eaten a korma. And because I'm a wuss and can't handle any more spice. Attack me comments. Do it. I don't care. I like a good korma with a garlic and butter naan. Eat me. Anyway, Beth, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to be covering all things Worlds. Since this weekend it is Worlds weekend. So we're going to cover what we think of it, our expectations of the weekend, and maybe a few predictions?
Yeah, maybe we'll look at some predictions.
Yeah, some predictions, because I know we've both got semi-controversial opinions on one of our top decks.
Yes, we do. I don't know. Loads of people out there will tell you we're wrong. I think we might be right. Not necessarily in the Masters, maybe in the Juniors or the Seniors, but I think...
I think it's still going to be up there in the Masters, though, knocking on the door. I don't think it'll win the whole thing, but I think it'll be knocking around.
It might do. Depends if people have actually put the reps in with it and not just wrote it off straight away. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Worlds 2024. This year we are taking place in Hawaii.
Yes, we are off to the convention center in Hawaii, Honolulu.
Yep, very, very exciting for everybody going over there. Very, very expensive for most of the world to get there.
Yes.
It feels like a very interesting choice. Obviously, right, this has all been talked about before. It's all been announced, yada, yada, yada.
We've touched on it at one point as well.
Yeah, it just feels like a very... I'm not going to drone on this, but it feels like a very expensive place for them to put it, only because a lot of like the player base that are going there will probably struggle to... I don't know. It just feels like the majority of the players in there are going to be travelling.
The majority of the player base that have qualified are outside of the US.
Yeah.
It is expensive enough to get there from within the US.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the US, it's even more expensive.
Yeah. I mean, Masters this year, we're looking at what? 2,000 players qualified.
Yeah. Obviously, we know that's not the final figure of what's signed up. We've seen the final figure of what's signed up, and that's across all age divisions.
Yep.
And I have a theory of why it is, even though it's high,
mm-hmm.
I think it's why I think it's lower than it could be.
Go on.
They didn't announce it to dates till EUIC.
Correct.
So anyone who is in juniors and seniors, they've got potentially a family of 4 to take out there, maybe more.
Yeah.
But we'll go conservative and say a family of 4.
Yep.
If you're outside of the travel award, that's a lot of money to have to put out when you potentially aren't being able to like distribute the cost over a few months and like pay it in installments,
or whack it on a credit card or something to then pay installments, or even just, I don't know, book a flight 4 months in advance so it's cheaper. I don't know, Pokemon, what are you doing?
Yeah, instead we had a 3-month notice about the dates it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we knew when it was, like where it was going to be, and we could predict roughly when. Like, so many people put bets on that it was going to be the weekend they actually did land on.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be a fact that people are having to bet and hope that they're booking for the right weekend.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, maybe this is that little bit of trial by fire, because going into the new format in the new season, you're not going to know if you've made Worlds until the end of the season for a lot of people.
True. For the most part, they're not. But still, it's like... trial by fire shouldn't be a thing. Like, if me or you... Not that we're probably going to be, because we're not the caliber of players, and we're probably not going to go to enough events. Well, potentially we could go to enough events to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get to a place where we look like we could, we'd book refundable flights.
We'd have to.
But I'm saying we'd be able to book refundable flights if we had the dates with enough notice.
Yeah.
Like, say EUIC rolled around, we both made points, and it's looking like, oh, I'm 100th in Europe. If I keep going to a few more events, it's possible I could stay there.
Yeah.
Like, you'd book a refundable flight at that point.
Yeah, I think you would.
Especially with EUIC next year being earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. If EUIC is earlier, with it being earlier, if they still announce the dates at EUIC, then it's okay.
It makes sense because it's February compared to April.
Yeah.
You've got 5 months notice compared to...
You've got more than 5. You've got 6 months notice.
6 months notice.
Yeah, you get an extra 2 months, which is huge.
Yeah, 2 months notice is massive.
It's massive, yeah.
Especially considering they wouldn't be as much of a mad rush from the people who have guaranteed qualified by that point, because no one knows if they've qualified unless they've won a regional.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're like in the top 6, top 10, top 20 at that point, you're probably comfortable. Pretty solid, pretty comfortable at that point, so you're not stressing as much. But
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they messed up by delaying it so long.
Yeah, I think LAIC would have made sense. Pokemon Day would have made sense. Any of them in my head would have been the perfect sort of timing, or anywhere between then. Mm-hmm. Leaving it till UIC made it a bit too late, in my opinion, and everyone was like, well, if they don't release it now, they've messed us up. And the world isn't going to be as big as we thought it was going to be.
Can you imagine if they'd have waited until NAIC?
Oh.
I wouldn't have put it past Pokemon.
I wouldn't have put it past Pokemon to leave it till then. But we definitely would not have the 1,988 players that we have going.
Is that just TCG?
That's just TCG.
Yeah. See, that is less than half the amount of total qualified players, though.
Yeah. But, again, how many players in the qualified players can actually afford to go to Hawaii?
Yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah. I'm just looking at the numbers here. It's near enough 4,000 players that have qualified.
Yeah. No, I agree that it's less than half, but it's still a point that, like, there's a lot more confounding factors than we're giving credit to.
Yeah. I don't know. The World Championships is an interesting one for me for Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I would arguably do 2 different events. I'd save the World Championships for the top, genuinely, like the top 32 players, and have like a global championships, which are like Worlds format currently, where you qualify based on CP, but a World Championships is a much smaller tournament dedicated to those very, very high-ranking individuals. So the players like us could still experience a Worlds format in the sense of it's a lot of players that have earned their right to be there and had their invitation, but then there is like a specialist tournament to truly crown the world champion or something.
Okay. My only vice with that is if they make it a separate event completely, players are having to pay out twice.
Well, no, because it'd be like a Pokemon invited you thing. They'd pay for you to be there.
Yeah, but...
And then you would get a lot more intense tournament, and you could make a lot more content from it. And you also would get players traveling to more events and stuff. The global tournament that you could sort of do now, you would get qualifiers for those. Like, there would be a qualifying... The top 32 points, or the top 16 points, or even the top 8 points in each region would get invited. And if you won the globals, or come in the top 4 of the globals, you were also invited. But it's like a very, very exclusive... That gives you your elitism pod, if you like, but it still would let the rest of the community go to this format that a lot of people love.
Yeah, no. The only thing I disagree with is, like, we have a very packed schedule as it is. Mm-hmm. When would they fit this, like, specialised tournament in? Because I'm assuming that they're doing it for all age categories still.
Nah, you just do it for Masters.
You just do it for Masters?
Yeah, I think you just do it for Masters.
So how are you crowning a world champion for the juniors and seniors then?
Do that at the globals. You have a side event, like, after...
Side event?
Yeah, well, because their event... You could start their event a day early,
Their event already starts the same day as Masters.
Yeah, but you could start their event a day early, right? And then on the Sunday, the top 8 players go into this top 8 knockout Swiss thing.
I mean, that's what
Worlds.
already happens.
Yeah, yes, but what I'm saying is, it's like the Masters are clearly the brunt of the player base. They are the majority of, like, they make up the majority of the player base.
Yes.
So, and if you look at all the streaming content that comes from Pokemon themselves, 99% of it is a Masters streamed game.
A lot of the time, I think that is also to do with, like, child protection stuff and that.
Absolutely, right? But what I'm saying is, the game that they've produced, yes, they're trying to market it to kids, but the majority of the players are all Masters.
Yeah.
So, for me, I would try and create a scenario where you could still push people to get their own, like, mini worlds, if you like, in the globals, and then you have the exclusive black ticket event for the like the head honchos,
I think
like the Toads of the world. I think that would create a lot more spicy content. Spicy content? Not spicy. That's the black ticket spicy content. No. That would create a lot more interesting content.
We're not creating that type of content with Pokemon. We're a family-friendly podcast.
Only Hands coming soon. It's only photos of Iron Hands. Amp you very much for your money. Your subscription goes a long way.
Why did I decide to come record with you after work?
I don't know. I'm tired. I've worked today. I've recorded a podcast. I've eaten dinner, and now we're recording the second podcast. But no, I think maybe not like a World Championships. Maybe a specific exclusive invite only. Maybe they do it during the off time. But I genuinely think that if Pokemon are trying to push this, like, Worlds thing to be the best of the best of the best, then Pokemon should be inviting specifically, like, 4 players from each region or something.
Okay.
And then be like, cool, Battle Dome.
Okay, so to battle off what you're saying there, that's probably why they've changed it to a top X. Because then you are the best of this in a region. You've not just gone and won. I'll take juniors and seniors, for example. A lot of them just have to win a certain number of locals and don't even have to get points at a regional. Yeah. In the structure what's this year's Worlds.
25 or 24?
24. The one that's going on this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Didn't have to get any points at regionals to go, which to me does not make them the best of the best.
No, it doesn't. But I don't think Top X necessarily makes you the best of the best. It just makes you the one with the biggest wad of cash.
Not always.
Correct. I completely agree. However, I'm thinking Pokemon want to make it this thing, so why don't they just cherry pick the people they want there?
Okay.
Because if
I understand that, and I can see that to a point. But with your biggest wad of cash, there's going to be players who pay out to go to every regional who will make points at maybe 1 or none.
Definitely.
So it's not okay. It's a case of the best players now have to have money behind them as well to be able to go. But just because you have the money doesn't always mean a Worlds invite.
Yes. I think the thing I'm trying to get away from is the 1 day of 9 Swiss rounds.
It's not 9 anymore, though.
It doesn't matter. Regardless, 1 day of Swiss rounds plus another day of Swiss rounds plus a top cut. If you look at any other sport that goes through a World Championship Series or a Championship Series or whatever, none of it is done in 1 day.
No.
The Grand Prix is done over the course of 12 months. Well,
not
9
12
months, I think it is. The Olympics is done over the course of several heats, and the qualifying people from the heats then go into being able to vie for that medal. You look at esports, that's done over a split season, like 3 games a week or whatever, and then they go into a Worlds bracket, which is then done over 5 days. My point is more, I think, the way the current format is, both this one and the new one coming up, we're getting away from the point I really wanted to talk about, but it doesn't matter. That's what this podcast's for. It's just a talking heads thing, right?
Yeah.
The thing they're trying to move towards, I think, is better orchestrated if they cherry pick the people that they want there, rather than doing what they've... Because what they're aiming for is the top of the top.
Yeah.
Right? But let's be honest, Tord is one of the best players, if not the best player in the game.
Yeah.
Right? What if this season through no fault of his own, he can't make regionals for whatever reason, right?
He'll make a
Nope.
EUIC, NAIC, one of them, and he'll win it.
But what if he doesn't? What if, for God forbid, something happened that meant he couldn't fly anymore, right?
If you can't fly anymore.
A boat. I was gonna say get him on walking. But my point is more like, if God forbid something happens that he can't make these regionals, he can't get his points, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't stop him from being the best player in the world. Pokemon knows he's the best player, so why would they not invite him to? And this is the thing: if they'd have, like, during the off season, that month where there's no tournaments, they could do this, and they could be like, "Cool, you finished in the top 4 of multiple tournaments. Tick. You and like cherry pick people to. I mean, I guess you could also look at, I guess, favoritism and stuff like that at that point, but." I don't know. I'm just thinking there should be something else that is a bit more exclusive than just, you guys are going to play like 8 Swiss rounds today and like 5 tomorrow and then a top cut. Good luck, everybody. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, the more I think about it, and I'll still go to regionals and I'll complain about it, but the more I think about it, the more nonsensical a world championship format makes to me in a 2-day or 3-day event. Like, that just seems wild. I know they have to do it like that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
But
so you're bringing up the Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double back on that.
Okay. The Olympics was just like a thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this as an example. In athletics, when they do heats in the morning, semi-finals in the evening, finals, that's 2 days.
Yeah, but that's only 3 races.
But it's done over 2 days, is what I'm saying.
But that's 3 races. Like, literally only 3 times they have to, like, exhaust themselves.
Yeah.
Pokemon players. I'm not saying we have it worse than athletes, by the way. Like,
okay.
I'm not saying that we should, like, athletes have an easier time than people who sit down and play with cards. That doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying is, I feel like somebody who sits down to try and play it at that sort of high level is under 50 minutes of stress plus 9 times in a day, rather than, depending what athletics it is, between 1 minute and 50 minutes 3 times or twice a day. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there should be something else. I don't know.
I just feel like it's okay because of, like, the costs of everything. Like, say you. Okay, this is probably an example that will not happen. Say you qualified for Worlds.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, we're going to do it over 2 weeks." Not everyone can afford to have 2 weeks off work to be able to go and do that. Not everyone can afford the accommodation for 2 weeks to go and do that.
Yep.
Like,
but they wouldn't pay for accommodation. This is the thing. It would be exclusively invited by Pokemon.
No, I'm saying that if they made the world format what we have.
Oh, right, yeah.
Over 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It makes it too unrealistic to have that expectation for people to be able to afford that.
I get that. I also wouldn't do it over 2 weeks. I'd do it over 1 week, if it were me. I just, you wouldn't do it over 2 weeks.
I used a hypothetical example.
Yeah, I'm just trimming that down a little bit. No, I'd do it over 5 days. I'd do, like, you still have, like, you maybe earn points and then the top X amount of people. Like, I don't know. I just think that it could be done better to try and figure out who the world champion is, rather than, I mean, even still, in the new format, it's still how many players? 600 players?
What?
For next year?
So
Masters is 2,000 qualify this year.
I can't remember the numbers now.
I'm pretty sure it's about 500 to 600 players.
So I know in Europe and the USA,
it's 125.
125 plus 100 for seniors.
Oh, I'm just talking Masters.
Oh.
Because if we include the kids, it just throws a couple of numbers out.
Plus 20.
I'm pretty sure it's like 500.
No, I think it's less.
125 for Europe. 125 for
America. 20 for
Oceania.
Australia.
Yeah. Isn't it 50 for... No, it's 10 for South Africa. 10 for Africa.
Well, 10 for Africa and East Mid.
5
Middle East.
For Yeah, not the airport. Only the 10 best Pokemon players in East Midlands Airport can go to Worlds.
Jesus, don't even.
Maybe we don't do regionals. Maybe we just do airports. we play some ghetto Pokemon.
I think it's like 400.
That's still a lot of players for Worlds.
Yeah, but I don't know what the qualification numbers are for TPC.
Yeah, because you've got that to think about as well, which is probably at least a 125, right?
I think all of Asia would probably be 125. Yeah.
Let's call it 100. Let's be pessimistic. It's 500 players.
Yeah, about 500.
I still think that's wild for a World Championships.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it might be a case of if they're going to change it and they're going to keep making it progressively smaller, they've got to drop it slowly rather than all at once. Because could you imagine the outrage if they dropped it all at once? Suddenly it's like, you've got to be in the top 15 players in Europe to be able to qualify for World Championships.
Yeah.
It would
That's why you have a Global Championships, which is like the Olympics used to be. And right, so you know the Olympics, the original contenders of Olympics were supposed to be non-athletes that were representing their country. That was how it worked, right?
It depended on the sport because some sports have never been professional.
Sure, but it was always at the start.
It was amateurs.
A case of amateurs coming in and being like your Joe Blogs.
But the issue is
competing.
Okay.
Right now, you're all professional athletes.
I'll talk to you about this afterwards because it's very unrelated to the podcast. But we'll discuss this afterwards.
Okay. But I don't think it captures the spirit of the event anymore. That's what I'm saying.
No, because if I was going to go there, go with my comments, it would go on a massive tangent and it would end up into an Olympics podcast.
No, do it. Well, I'll set as a timer. We've got 5 minutes on this.
So every sport until the 1950s was amateur. 1950s, football was the first sport to go pro.
Sure.
Football was the only sport that actually had proper restrictions in place.
Right.
Otherwise, you still had to hit a qualification limit to be able to go.
Yeah.
But every sport was open to any athlete, and actually a lot of the athletes that went to the Olympics were the top level athletes, not your Joe Blogs.
Right. But that was, what were we on? Olympic number 34?
30. We just had the 30th Olympic.
Was that London? No, was that Paris?
Yeah,
30th
Olympiad.
I don't really care because it's sport. But that's what 100 and that's 90. No, 120 years.
Yeah.
So,
well, no, it's 140. It's 130. No, it's 128 years since the first Olympiad.
Is it every 5 years?
Every 4.
Every 4.
But during World War, we didn't have one.
Uh-huh.
And Tokyo got pushed back by a year.
Sure. Okay. So that takes us back to like
1896
yeah.
was the first modern Olympics.
So everybody between then and 1950, you telling me they were Joe Blogs?
Well, technically, yes.
Right.
But,
so why aren't we still...
Technically, but it was still the best players in... Like, if you went and played for Old Etonians, which is a really old football club, because they were amateur, you could go and represent the Great Britain for football.
Completely forgot what my point was now.
There used to be Joe Blogs when it wasn't until everything went professional.
No, it was something else that I was tangenting onto. Nope, it's gone. Oh well, never mind.
Oh well, my blank.
My point, I guess, overarchingly is, as much as I'm salty that I'm not going to qualify for Worlds this year because they've changed the format, I still think Worlds is too big.
So if you could have qualified, would you still thought it was too big?
Yes. I still think it's too big. Whether I could or couldn't qualify, I think a World Championship event, if they're going to call it that, to crown a single world champion, just feels wrong when there's 600 players in the room, 500 players in the room.
Okay, I've got an alternative argument.
Go on.
Pokemon's not in every country, so technically it can't be a world champion.
So this is all propaganda and slander. Pokemon, what are you doing? There's got to be some legal repercussions.
Okay, this is... Hold my hands up here. TPCI, who is the organisers of the World Championship, are Americans. Americans like to call anyone a world champion if they win the big event.
Actually, to be fair, it can be called the World Championships as long as the invitation is open to anybody from anywhere.
Then why do they call them world champions in the NBA? Because it's not open to anyone from anywhere, is it?
Well, if they're good enough to qualify on those teams, it's good enough to be there, according to Google. I don't know. But, no, I don't know.
Google's American. They've Americanized it.
What is this anti-USA? But just as a side note, Attach Pass does not share this anti-Semitic, anti-US policy that Beth seems to be pushing in this episode.
I don't have an anti-US policy. I'm just saying that, like, I hate the definition that the US have of a world champion.
Right.
Like, how can 32 teams who are only based in America play for a world championship?
What if they're the 32 best teams in the world?
Yet they've got French players on their teams.
You said teams, not players. Technically, they are.
Yes.
I know. Actually, by that definition, if they've got French players on their team, it's multicultural, therefore World Championship.
Yeah, but no.
Bang.
Okay, they've got players, but they're not multicultural nations. Clubs.
I guess you get into semantics of, like, if the team is made up of different ethnicities and different races and whatever, does that make it multicultural
but
enough
I will
to be a
also
World
say,
Championship?
Noah Lyles agrees with my statement, and he's American.
Who?
He's a sprinter. He literally turned around and said, the world champions of what? The United States.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only the world champions of the United States and not the world
Plus
champions.
that one French guy.
Do you even know the name of that French guy? And it's not a French guy.
It's sports ball. I don't care for sports ball.
ball.
The only ball sport that I enjoy is rugby.
And that's an egg.
Exactly. Still a ball.
You know that's the sport I mostly care about anyways.
Yeah, but my point is more, I don't care about that one French NBA player. Good on him. Good job, dude.
There's multiple French NBA players.
What about that Welsh dude?
He's an NFL player.
Yeah.
He's only just played his first game in the NFL.
Yeah, but what if, right?
Yeah.
Is the NFL just American? Is this a National Football League?
Yeah,
there's no world champion of the National Football League. Oh, there is.
The Super Bowl.
Oh, they're Super Bowl champions. They're not world champions.
No, they call themselves world champions as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But they're small events. There's only 2 teams that compete in the Super Bowl.
There's only 2 teams that compete in the NBA Finals.
Is this? I don't know what the Super Bowl is. I'll be honest with you. Is that the one where Beyonce like dances on stage?
She did do it one year, but it's whenever do you know the halftime show?
Yeah.
It's when they get a big music artist. It's when Rihanna performed while she was pregnant.
I was gonna say, who's Rihanna? Is she the one that did Monster with Eminem?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm surprised you don't know who Rihanna is.
I did music, people, pop culture. Is she pop culture or is she R&B?
She's R&B.
I know who she is. I know what she looks like.
That's Rihanna.
Yeah, but I don't watch the halftime shows. I find it boring. My point is more. World is too big. They should still make it smaller. Anyway.
And I've just learned that Ben doesn't know anything pop culture.
No, I do. Talk to me about Breakfast Club all day. Is that still pop culture? No, that's
not pop culture
That's retro
anymore.
culture
That's
now,
retro.
isn't it? Yeah, okay. So, Worlds 2024. Over 2,000 players for the Masters alone. Wild.
It is
qualified. 2,000 players in total attending the event or have got tickets for the event.
Yep. 3 different tiers to the invites.
Yeah. First one gets travel award and a round 1 bye. I don't like the bye.
I don't like the bye, but it is what it is. Second tier gets a World's invite and travel stipend.
Yep. So that's like, here is a can of Pringles.
It is, come play round 1, you get this money.
Yeah. Have some Pringles.
Yeah. And then the last tier is the one that most players have got, which is just a World's invite.
Yeah, so there's only 16... Hang on. What? That's weird.
What?
So, US and Canada had 600 qualifying Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Europe had 500 qualifying Masters.
Yep.
Europe get places 1 to 22.
It is an out of regional region Worlds. That's why.
What?
Because America, US and Canada,
Yeah.
it's within region, their Worlds.
Right.
Europe, out of region Worlds. So they have the different cut-offs for the travel award.
They shouldn't do that anyway. Or make them all the same. Although the top 2.
The one that I find funny though, Middle East and South Africa. Underneath, all of the not that one. Where is it? Where's my little thing? My little side note. I can't find my side note anymore.
Oh, I know what you were thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, found it. Please note, South African players are not eligible for travel award or travel stipend. Yet they emailed them saying that they were.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, isn't it?
It is.
You kind of messed up, Pokemon.
You did mess up.
I guess
there.
they're not allowed because of some laws or something.
It is because of rules in the laws in the country, which I can fully understand why. But it's like, just don't email them if they are South African.
Mm. Right, Masters. Let's say half of them check in.
Yep.
They have 11 Swiss rounds in total.
Yep.
8 on day 1, 3 on day 2.
And the threshold to get to day 2 is 18 points.
Yep.
That's anything over 257 that is.
Yeah, that's 6 wins.
Yeah.
So you need 6 out of 8.
You need 6 out of 8. You go 3-0, you drop.
No.
Oh, 3.
I was going to say, if you go 3-0, Beth, you keep going.
No, if you go 3-0, you keep going. Beth's had a long day at work.
Okay. And then, it's 18 points all the way, 257 onwards. That's kind of wild. And then they go into day 2, and then they do the top last 3 matches.
Yep.
And then it's top 8 asymmetrical cut.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, it means the top 8 players go into the cut, and anybody on the same amount of points as the 8th place also go into the cut, which is just stupid. It's not. Like, it stops the bubble out, like, because of resistances.
You know who would love that?
Adam. Love you, mate.
I don't think he watches.
It stops the bubble out, which is nice. But surely that just makes the day... I mean, I guess that's why they've dropped the Swiss rounds. But that just makes the day even longer. Because, I mean, if you have...
I mean, to be fair, having looked at the timings, they are meant to end day 2 the same time as day 1.
Right. It's still pretty late in the day, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't play the final on the same day, do they?
No, but they do play the top cut.
Yeah, they play the top cut. But top cut is currently predicted to finish the same time as day 1.
But there is a scenario... some weird scenario where I think there is a scenario, I might be mathematically incorrect, but where everybody in day 2 makes the same points. There is a scenario.
Very
what if nobody makes 18 match points day 1?
Who's not going to make 18
No, but what if there isn't? There is a scenario where nobody makes 18 match points. What if everybody drew every round, for example?
Okay, no, that's not going to happen.
No,
firstly.
but what is the provision for that?
Not my purview, not my problem.
They have 1,024 players going. Nobody's a champion. Quick, do that invite tournament Ben was talking about.
Not my purview, not my problem.
No, but like
they've probably still got the thing in place where it's like
top X amount of players.
Top X amount of players, like it used to be. You either get this many match points or top 32 players, depending which is larger.
Yeah.
So it probably would be that they've got that sort of system still in place.
Oh, the asymmetrical cut is to a max of 32.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, they're not going to get to that point, but what if they could?
No.
That would feel bad. Adam would still bubble out. Today. Adam would still bubble out into 33rd.
I'm sorry, but like when you're mentioning that Adam would still bubble out, I have to laugh because knowing his luck, it would be him that bubbles out.
Oh, just in case you didn't know, right? You've worked all season, but don't forget to bring your deck, your damage counters, a coin or coin flip dice, and a pen. Thanks, Pokemon.
And your V-Star marker, they're forgetting that one.
Yeah, it doesn't say you have to bring one.
You need one, though.
Oh, wait, no, it does. Condition markers. V-Star is technically, when you've used
a
condition marker.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so, right, Worlds is interesting.
Yeah.
Prizes.
The prizing is very interesting.
First prize goes away with 50,000 smackaroonies of the
Yeah.
US didgeridoo-doos.
And that is regardless of your age division. The
Yep.
only difference is that if you're under 18, you have to have either a scholarship or a prepaid Visa card.
Wild. 50 grand.
On a prepaid Visa
No,
card?
at 8 years old. On a credit card, what, a debit card, basically.
A fake debit card because it's a
Yep.
prepaid Visa gift card type thing.
Congratulations, Timmy. You've just won 50,000. Oh boy, I'm going to buy loads of packs. That's what they're hoping for.
Do you want to know what I would? Do you want to know if I was that kid's parent what I'd do? I'd say, you're getting this much. The rest is going in a trust fund for you.
I'd not even do that. I'd be like, oi kid, do you want to pay for the holiday we've just paid for you? No. I don't condone that, just saying. Point being, that's a stupid amount of money.
It is.
For a kid with no obligations.
Kate, but even for a master, that's a daft amount of money.
I don't know. I think that's pretty tame for a master.
What, 50 grand?
Mm-hmm. I wonder what the Magic Pro Tour wins. I'm just interested now. MTG Pro Tour prizing. You can tell we haven't prepped. $500,000 prize pool for Masters. For thingy. Prizing. Oh no! It's the exact same pricing as Magic.
Don't tell a Yu-Gi-Oh player that.
Except third and fourth. Pokemon's third and fourth gets 5 grand more.
I mean, have you seen Yu-Gi-Oh players?
They're bailing out of Yu-Gi-Oh to come and play Pokemon.
No, a lot of them are bailing out of Yu-Gi-Oh to go play Pokemon Analog Corner because they don't like the prizing.
Yeah. Well,
Have you seen the prizing?
Yeah, it's like 6 booster boxes and a cuddle.
It's a slap in the face, really.
It is bad.
Like, they've done Nintendo Switches for multiple years. How old's a Nintendo Switch? Like, 8 years old?
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry. That's just wild. Pokemon's pricing is actually better than Magic's, which is just weird, considering Magic's a much bigger game. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Well,
Magic's a bigger game, but Pokemon arguably makes more money.
No, not the TCG. Magic's whole thing is the card game. They pump out a set every 3 minutes.
True, they do.
They've got a new set. Just brand new one drop now, and then in 3 minutes' time they'll do another one.
Yeah, I always forget that they have a new one basically every month that changes everything up.
Yeah, so that's just wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
And that's every age division. First taking 50, second taking 30, third and fourth taking 20, fifth to eighth 15, 9th to 16th gets 10k, and then 17th to 32 gets 5 grand.
And then, on top of that, you also get other prizes.
Do you?
You get, for first place, you get a World Champion trophy,
Wow.
a Champion hat, a Top 8 hat, a Top Trainer bag, a Champion hoodie, Champion playmat, Top 8 playmat, Champion promo World Stamped promo card, Top 8 and Top 32 World Stamped promo card, and a number 1 Trainer trophy card for all age divisions. And your Trainer trophy card is an auto invite back for next year.
Wow. And second place gets a You Tried trophy. I mean, a finalist trophy, a Top 8 hat, a Top 32 hat. Wait, the winner doesn't get a Top 32 hat. It just gets a Top 8 hat and a Champion hat.
That might be a misprint.
Oh, come on, Pokemon. Anyway, a Top Trainer bag, Top 8 playmat, World's promo card, Top 8 and 32 stamp promos, and a number 2.
Finalist stamped the World's promo card.
Yeah, a You Tried one.
Yeah.
And then the rest get the same degrading.
Apart from it's first, second, third, and fourth all get auto invites back for next year.
Yep.
Even if you age up. So if you win your seniors and you go into Masters, guess what, kid? You get to come back and play Masters Worlds next year.
And get donked. Or do the donking, one of the two.
Some Masters make it to Worlds their first season.
Yeah, no, absolutely do. I just think that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Competitors who qualify for travel stipend are eligible to receive an additional $1,000 paid after the event.
Yeah, pre-tax.
As pre-tax. Competitors who qualify for travel award receive a flat amount prior to the event. Age 18 plus out of regions 3.5k. Under 18 is 5k.
Within region 2k, under 18 2.5k.
That's weird. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they have to bring their family along, so that's why they add
do.
the extra money on.
Yeah, it's expensive to travel with mummy and daddy.
Please never say those words again. So yeah, Worlds this year is going to be
and
pretty
all
crazy.
participants get 5 play points.
What?
They get 5 play points.
Oh, play points.
Yeah, I said play points.
No, I thought my brain went championship points. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
I said play points.
They absolutely should not get championship points.
They do not. You just get an auto invite if you get first, second, third, or fourth. Top 32 also receive 72 TCG booster packs.
2 booster boxes.
2 booster boxes.
God, I can't really award much more because if you come in on a carry-on or something, you're gonna lose all your. You're gonna have to pay for it, aren't you?
I think for going to Hawaii, if you're coming from the UK, you wouldn't take. You need that suitcase where it's just empty and a Dragonite and a wad of cash.
Beth sent me. There was not even a deck in there.
There was not even a deck in there.
Literally, the suitcase was a Dragonite, a
wad of cash.
and something else.
No, it was empty.
No, there was one other thing.
1 minute.
I can guarantee you there was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. But either way, it was quite funny.
Oh, passport.
A passport. There we go.
Yeah, it was the passport.
Yep. I'm like, where's your deck?
In your carry-on.
It's not in the Dragonite, is it?
Oh, if you're going to keep making me laugh, I'm going to need to go to the toilet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm going to quickly run.
Oh, okay. Beth needs the toilet.
Beth's had a lot to drink today.
I'm going to leave that in.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, I can't now because you threw the microphone everywhere. Let me lap that.
Oh. You good?
Mm-hmm.
What was going to do?
I can't remember what we were talking about before you had to go piss yourself.
No, you definitely have to cut that bit out.
I have to cut all this out anyway. It's just dead silence. Okay, I'm just gonna. I'll kick us into something else.
Okay.
So with all that talk about like Worlds and the format and what I think's wrong about it, what you disagree with, and all that sort of nonsense.
Yep.
Decks. Let's talk about decks. We've got
Yes.
maybe 20 minutes left before we cut off this podcast.
Plenty of time.
What decks do we think are going to show up? I'll let you go first.
Okay, so Zard, Drago, Dragapult. I think there's going to be some Guardy.
Mm-hmm.
Raging Bolt, Snorlax, Pidgeot Control. Think we could see Loyal 3.
Mm-hmm.
Turbo Roaring Moon, EX. Ancient Box, Miraidon. Quad Thorns.
Lugia.
Lugia. And Shenpao.
Yep.
And I think there might be some. Lost Box Tina.
Dialga.
There might be some. What do you call it? Oh.
Blastoise.
No, not Blastoise.
I bet one Blastoise is gonna be there.
Okay, there might be one Blastoise there, but I can't remember what the Pokemon card is now off the top of
Talk to me about it. What does it do?
I can't remember.
Ditto.
I can picture it in my head.
Describe it. What colour is it?
It's
Great content.
Blissey.
Is that the one you were thinking of?
Yeah, I think there'll be some Blissey.
I don't, but we'll get
I
to
think
that in
there'll be
a second.
some because I've seen a few lists floating around online that use Blissey more as the support.
Right.
But it's the main thing in there. Like, it's the one they've got the most of because it's what does all the moving. So they need that to be able to actually keep setting up their attackers.
I think we are going to see... Oh, I literally just had it in my... Great content, Ben. I had it in my head as well. You started talking and I completely forgot what I was going to say.
There's another one. I can't remember what it is. And I've seen it online quite recently. Oh.
So, basically, what we're coming down to is there is a lot of decks in Worlds. The meta with the Shrouded Fable format is wide open. It's massive. It's literally huge. It has the Arc box, Arc piles. Probably going to see those.
Turbo Hands.
All of that for what will be the worst deck in the format.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think there'll be some. Is more my point.
Right.
Because there's some people who are proclaimers that Turbo Hands is just great.
Miraidon's very good, so maybe Turbo Hands is also pretty decent. But the point is more, there is a lot of players, there is a lot of decks that could be taken to Worlds. What do we think is going to win it? Like Masters, because there's different metas in different age groups. Masters, what's winning it?
If it can avoid the bricking, Drago.
Okay.
I think Drago, because it's got a great spread. It's probably got one of the best spreads out there, other than one other deck what I love and I think will do well, but I don't think will win it.
Right.
But it's got a great spread into the meta. Like, when you look at its percentages, its worst matchup is Raging Bolt. But I think the numbers that we're seeing at the moment are skewed and aren't accurate, potentially due to meta manipulation, because that happens every time. Like, people are meta manipulating. So I think that Drago is actually a good call because it's got one of the best matchup spreads, to be fair.
I think it's Zard. I think Zard's got too much plot armor. I think Zard plus Dusclops means that it can one-shot pretty much anything it wants in a turn now. And that's from turn 1.
Yeah, fair. I think Zard's issue will be how much control is there.
I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think there's going to be anywhere near enough control.
Fair.
I don't want Zard to win it because it's boring and makes me fall asleep. Almost like Block Lax. Like, if I have to rate decks in terms of boringness, step 1, Block Lax. Step 2, Zard. Step 3, Pidgeot Control. Because that's actually interesting to watch.
Yeah, because me and you sat and watched the semi-final for EUIC, which was Pidgeot Control versus Tina Lost Box, Isaiah's Tina Lost Box.
Yeah.
That was one of the best matches I think I've watched in a while, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very, very good. It was very good. Yeah. I thought that was a very interesting matchup to watch.
It was.
But I think Zard is just going to win Worlds. I think Pokemon will then go, oops, we printed a good card.
What, like they did with Mew for 2 years?
Yeah. I think Zard's going to be the Mew in terms of what's going on. So, yeah, I think Zard's going to win. What do I want to win? I want Dragapult to win.
I would like Dragapult to win. I don't think it will win. It's got incredible matchup spread, to be fair. I don't think it's got a bad matchup.
I'm trying to think of what is a bad... Bolt's the worst matchup for it,
Yeah.
and even then the Dusclops fixes all of that.
I was going to say the Dusclops fixes it more than people think. And that is the controversial opinion that I think we've got,
Yep.
that a lot of people are saying is bad. And I think a lot of people have overlooked it as a deck and they've not actually sat and looked at it and thought this can actually do things. Like, people have just tested it once, not looked at the lines, not thought about the counts, and just gone, yep, this is a deck.
Yep.
It's not a good deck,
And
but it is a good deck.
Yeah, I've been testing it for 8 weeks straight now.
Yeah.
In fact, longer probably. And I think it has some of the best matchups in it compared to a lot of things.
Well, I mean, even before that, me and you were talking about it for what, like 2-3 weeks before you started testing?
Yeah.
With our senior who's gone to Worlds.
Yep.
And we were both saying that it gets stupid next set.
Yeah, I think people haven't done the maths. Maybe they have. Maybe we were wrong. Like, we are a mid-tier podcast. Maybe it's just in our sort of mid-tier
We
bit.
could be wrong, but it's also the fact that, like, if you look at the maths and you play the matchups and you learn the matchups, even the bad matchup isn't the worst.
Right. I mean, no, because you can take 6 prizes quite easily into Bolt.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, you've just got to set it up right.
The thing is, it just bricks to itself like once every 65 games.
It bricks to itself every now and
Oh,
then.
it also hates Lugia, actually.
It hates Lugia is beatable, though.
Yeah.
Like, Lugia's a lot more beatable than people make out, and let's be real, Lugia bricks to itself more often than Drago than Pult does.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I would love Drago to win. I would love Dragapult to win.
Yeah.
I guess if Drago wins with Dragapult in it, that kind of works.
Yeah. It's just because Drago's got so many good pieces now.
But the problem, I think, is Zard's access to Dusclops and Dusk Noir can be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some people say online today that it's actually just bogging Zard down and they should just remove it and go back to where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to do that, do it. I think it would be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are overlooking things in terms of the potential with, well, firstly Pult, but also Dusclops, Dusk Noir, and Duskull. Like, they're overlooking that line a lot, and there's so many good things that could be done with that line. Like, I think it's a massively meta-changing card.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot more than people realise, because people are sat there thinking that it makes it more clunky when a lot of the time it's solving issues.
Yeah, I mean, it fixes some maths. The problem is it gives them a prize, which is its downfall. But
Yeah.
can you imagine if that card didn't give away a prize card? How
Jesus.
stupid it would be. It would literally be the worst.
If it didn't give away a prize card, it would just be... It'd be an auto 4-4-4-4 in every deck.
Yeah. You just get decks just running Dusclops and Dust Noir.
I mean, there's decks like that anyways.
The Lost Zone one.
No,
Have you
there's
seen
a
that?
different one.
Have you seen Turbo Zone?
Yeah, I've seen Turbo.
4 Lost City, 4 Duskull, 4 Dusclops, 4 Dusk Noir, 4 Candy, 2 Sableye, 4 Psychic, and it's like hyper aroma.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, not 4 Dusk Noir or 4 Candy, not in that build. It's just the Dusclops.
No, I've seen a different one that's got 4-4-4-4.
It's pretty funny. I think it's funny.
Have you seen the one that's Mimikyu active 4-4-4?
No.
There's one that's running Mimikyu as like, I think it's like three Mimikyu. So like, if they're playing anything that isn't a basic, they can't touch you really. I mean, anything that isn't a single prizer, they can't touch you, or they have to uncast Clone. And then they're just using the Dusclops and Dusk Noirs as like the damage that takes everything out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
But they've also got the Lost City and Sableye in there.
Yeah, I think Lost City's going to play a lot of part in a lot of, like, if people play it right, I think it's just going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely stupid, and I can't wait to see it.
So, prediction, how many of the stream games for the World Championship Series. Bear in mind we have at least 11 Swiss rounds, at
11
least
Swiss
3
rounds,
top cut rounds.
At least 3 top cut.
So that's 14.
Juniors final, Masters seniors final. So that's another 2. That's
15 best of 3s. 16 best of 3s.
16 best of 3s.
How many of those 32 decks are going to include Duskull, Dusknoir, and Dusclops? Oh, sorry. Something of the Cursed Bomb line.
I think
32 decks.
I think 18.
I'm going 28.
You're going 28.
I think 28 of those decks are going to play.
Okay, so my
going
argument
big.
for not saying that many is Lugia, Miraidon, any of the ancient stuff, any of the future stuff. There's quite a wide list of decks. Any of the control lists. So there's about 9 decks in the meta that don't run it.
Or do they? Can you imagine a 1/1 Duskull Dusclops in Blocklax? You turn on the counter catchers when you're ready for it. You go first, and turn 1.
Play a Dusclops.
Bang, and they go. And you're like, turn 2, counter catcher, get stalled.
You mean turn 2 go bang, because turn 1 they can't go bang if they go first.
Yeah, so turn 2, you counter catcher them.
Yeah, but you went turn 1 you go bang.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Nope, turn 1 you lay Dusclops, turn 2 you go counter catcher. That's what I said. Watch the VOD.
You said bang.
Nope.
Yep.
I'm going to watch this back afterwards.
And there's going to be a bang for turn 1.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, it's not bang it's not boom. Bang as in bang Dusclops. When you bang a card down. It's like the same as slapping a card down. This has been the worst podcast we've ever recorded, but I hope you enjoyed it. Who's winning Worlds? Drago.
Drago.
I think it's Zard. In the chat, tell me what you think it is. Also, we have a playmat winner.
Yes. Also, tell us on Twitter as well if you don't put it in the...
Yeah, just tell us.
Just tell us.
Playmat winner. I did a spin the wheel thing today. I painstakingly went through everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot and didn't set up an automated thing.
You didn't set up an auto thing.
No, and I spun the wheel.
Mhm.
And it's actually a streamer friend of ours.
Oh, wow.
Jester TCG.
Oh,
Or
wow.
Liam, congratulations. You have won a playmat. I'll get it to you. I'll message you on Twitter after I finish recording. You have won.
Yeah.
No offense. I was hoping it was going to be somebody local, so I didn't have to post it out.
I mean, who knows? He might say post it out, or he might say, "Oh, wait till you next see me."
Yeah, I'll just post it out to him. It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That has been probably the worst podcast I think we've ever recorded because it was all over everywhere.
Yeah.
However, that is true raw content,
Mhm.
mildly edited.
Only a little bit because of one thing in the middle.
Beth needed in the toilet. And with that, thank you very much for joining me, Beth. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you for exposing my toilet habits to the internet.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'll tell you afterwards. Thanks for watching. I've been Ben. This has been Beth. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.